Rachel Ross, the person who did you guys on my presentation, and I am really happy that you guys were able to call me and answer some of my questions. So I was not allowed to videotape during my presentation in the class, so I decided to do it here at my house instead. So I'm going to start my presentation. Raise your hand if you've ever ran a mile without stopping before. Keep your hand up if you've ever ran 3 miles without stopping before. Keep your hand up if you've ever ran 10 miles without stopping before. Then it is safe to say that nobody here has ever swam 2.4 miles in the ocean, immediately followed by a 112-mile bike ride, followed by a 26.2-mile run. My name is Rachel Ross, and my heroes have done this many times. Dick and Rick Hoyt have done over 1,000 marathons and triathlons all around the world. You might be more familiar with them as Team Hoyt, a father and son who have paved the way for people with disabilities to follow their dreams. After reading many articles and watching many videos about Team Hoyt, I had a couple questions of my own. I decided to send the request through their email on their Team Hoyt website, asking if I could speak to someone to get more information on this project. I'm thrilled to say, after school on November 3rd, Team Hoyt called my house and I got to interview them for 30 minutes. As many of my questions were answered. Dick Hoyt was born in Holland, Massachusetts on June 1st, 1940. He was one of nine children and met Judy in high school and got married shortly after graduation. Dick and Judy welcomed their son Rick on January 10th, 1962. During pregnancy, the umbilical cord was wrapped around Rick's neck, which caused the oxygen to stop flowing from his lungs to his brain, which caused him to be born paralyzed and with cerebral palsy. So it is very difficult to raise a son with cerebral palsy because of the enormous dependence they have on another and will have for the rest of their life. Cerebral palsy is due to abnormal brain development, usually before birth, but it causes your muscles to stop moving, which it makes you unable to move or speak. They met up with doctors, and the doctor said, put Rick in an institution. He's going to be nothing but a vegetable for the rest of his life. Well, Dick and Judy said no. They were going to raise Rick just like they raised their other 2 sons, and that's exactly what they did. They started to teach him the alphabet and expose him to sports. When Rick was 8, they met engineers from Tufts University who built him a computer that he was able to communicate by moving his head onto a keyboard, making the computer speak. So they were also excited to hear whether his first words would be "Hi, Dad" or "Hi, Mom," but they were neither. So one night before, they were at a Red Sox baseball game in the box at Fenway Park, all wondering what his first words would be. So during the game, Dick noticed that his son Rick was watching the Bruins hockey team on the TV instead, and that made sense to him that his son's first words were "Go Bruins." Using his machine to communicate, it became clear that Rick was intelligent. So him and his mom fought to pass the Law 766 Massachusetts state law that stated all children should be able to get a public school education despite their disabilities. Well, in 1975, at the age of 13, the law passed and Rick was finally admitted into public school. He finished high school and graduated college shortly after that from Boston University in 1993 with a degree in special education. In 1977, Rick came home from school and asked his dad if he could push him in a 5-mile run to benefit his paralyzed friend. Well, Dick, not really knowing how to run, agreed to do this race. They came in second to last, so they didn't do very well. But Dick still recalls his son saying to him, "Dad, when I'm running, I feel like my disability disappears." Well, this kept Dick motivated, and now a 36-year-old father and a 15-year-old son began to race. They did all local races, and they did the famous Boston Marathon 32 times. So this is impressive. And one of the Boston Red Sox director, the Boston Marathon director, Dave McGivery, jokingly said, "Oh, you guys should start triathlons." Well, Dick did not take this as a joke and decided to do this run, swim, and biking race as long as he could do it with Rick. They bought a house next to the lake in order to train for the swimming portion. At first, Dick could only go 15 feet, but he made progress and learned to swim attached to a boat that his son was laying in. Another challenge that the Hoyts faced was the biking portion. So their special made two-person bike was 400 pounds. So Dick had to pedal 400 pounds, and so he even said that since Rick's chair was since he sat in the front, he even had to bike downhill. But he was the first to admit that Rick is a true athlete. I'm just loaning him my arms and my legs. So in 1998, Team Hoyt was ready to tackle the biggest challenge of their life, the Hawaiian Ironman. This was so challenging that in this particular race, people like Rick were not actually allowed to join. Well, after many letters and many rejections, they were finally able to participate in the 2008 World Championship Ironman because they convinced a Hawaiian senator that this would be good publicity for their state. So in 2003, they decided to do they did over 1,000 local races, and they did actually a trek around the United States that was 3,700 miles long. In 2003, Dick suffered a heart attack, and the doctors told him if he wasn't in great shape, he would have died. And so Dick credits Rick for keeping him in great shape and keeping him alive. So their biggest accomplishment was completing this race, and being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is very difficult to do, and is still difficult to do. So for the last 33 years, Dick has carried, pulled, and pushed his son through many marathons, triathlons all around the world. So in 2010, Judy Hoyt died, and Dick being 76 years old and Rick being 54, still continuing to do many marathons. But the races that Dick is unable to do, a family friend, Brian Lyons, will not really take over, but will push Rick in some of those races. And Dick told me that Rick is still going to run for at least 15 more years. So there are 17 Hoyt chapters all around the world, and volunteers sign up to push their disabled kids in a race, and that's very inspiring. So he also shared with me, in Japan there were philosophers that stated that children with disabilities should be kept hidden so they will not embarrass the country. Well, a few years ago, there was a documentary show on Team Hoyt in Japan, and Team Hoyt felt so delighted when they realized their one film changed the whole culture of a country, because that's when the philosophers started letting disabled kids out in the public. So if they're not running, or if they're not racing, and they are have free time, they would oversee the Hoyt Foundation along with do public speaking. So if the Hoyt Foundation, if you guys did decide to donate, it would go to fund communication machines like the one Rick uses. It would fund independent livings for people with disabilities, and it will fund charities, all sorts of charities like Easter Seals. And they actually donated over $1 million to Easter Seals. So a donation was made for all of you guys of these dog tags, and I handed them out when I was doing my presentation in my class. And so I hope that, and then I said I hope that they all join me for the January 13th Carlsbad Marathon. And I told them the website that they could go to in order to get information about that. And so then I also had to do 3 pieces of symbolism, and so I decided to do these necklaces as one for a warrior spirit, because military officers are deployed, and when they get deployed to fight, they wear dog tags to show symbolism for what they do. And it also has the slogan on it, "Yes, you can." And then I had this ribbon because it stands for cerebral palsy awareness. And then I have my tennis shoes because you guys ran for all of disabled people, including your journey that you had with each other. And then I wore this pin that you gave me for the freedom. So yeah, thank you, and I hope I can meet you at the January 13th Carlsbad Marathon because my family and I might go. Well, I'm definitely going, but my family might come with me. Bye.